1001 sentences. Basic.
챕터 1. 동사와 문장의 기본 구조.
Unit 1. Success happens to everyone. Just don't give up.
Much of learning occurs through trial and error.
Your success grows from your struggles in life.
I wake up at 6 o'clock every day from force of habit.
Skin color doesn't matter in friendship.
The vegetarian diet worked well for my health.
Honesty will pay in the end.
Every vote counts in an election.
A glass of water will do for me.
The meeting lasted 2 hours. Unit 2.
The next flight will be at 2 p.m.
The castle stands on top of the mountain.
Dokdo lies in the East Sea between Korea and Japan.
I will stay in bed and get an extra 5 minutes sleep.
We live in a rapidly changing information society.
My friends and I went to a museum last week.
Unit 3. The 21st century is the age of information and knowledge.
Water is vital for our brain to function smoothly.
A passion for pleasure is the secret of remaining young.
Access to medical services remains a problem in many parts of the world.
Just be yourself and stay true to your values.
You don't get older, you get better.
Proper nutrition and relaxation seem important for students.
Children can feel insecure in a new environment.
This cough medicine for kids tastes like fruit.
This ring looks lovely with my other rings.
The music sounded very loud, so we had to shout to each other.
My dream came true after all.
In extremely hot weather, dairy products go bad easily.
She turned pale at the sight of blood.
Our earth is suffering and time is running short. We must act now.
Unit 4. A bad workman blames his tools.
Don't put the cart before the horse.
According to an old saying, great hopes make great men.
The term K-pop describes contemporary Korean pop music.
One kind word can change someone's entire day.
Depth of friendship does not depend on length of acquaintance.
I look forward to meeting you in person.
Please place the plant close to the window.
Keep your valuables in a safe place.
Unit 5. Life doesn't give people a second chance.
Time and experience will teach you priceless lessons.
Nobody can bring you peace but yourself.
Imagination offers us feelings of happiness.
I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Money can't buy us good health.
The friendly librarian found the student the book about Roman history.
Can I ask you a favor?
My dad sometimes makes our family various dishes with potatoes.
Unit 6. Accepting our imperfections can make us better people.
Studying history can make you more knowledgeable.
The uncommonly dry weather drove the fire out of control.
The noise from outside kept me awake all night.
I think some documentaries on TV very educational.
Sports commentators considered him this year's best player.
I found the information very useful to our work.
Some people call the brain a living computer.
Many readers found this book helpful in learning English.
We believe him honest in the performance of his duties. Unit 7.
Analysts are discussing possible causes of the air crash.
After 2 hours' walk, we finally reached the coast.
He answered my text message about an hour later.
The job would suit someone with computer knowledge.
Dirt was lying thick upon the floor.
I lay awake last night. I was not able to sleep.
Galileo Galilei laid the foundation of modern science.
Please raise your hand when you need assistance.
During warm periods, glaciers melt and the sea level rises.
She explained the situation clearly to me.
Travel can introduce to us new people, experiences, and foods.
He suggested a different idea to us.
챕터 2. 주어의 이해.
Unit 8. To express feelings is good for your mental health.
Cramming for an important exam seems like a bad idea.
To read your own essay aloud can help you find the errors.
Not to know is bad. Not to wish to know is worse.
Trying to see the other person's point of view is a good rule in life.
Searching for new possibilities with an inquisitive mind is essential to be successful.
Not getting enough sleep is a common cause of dark circles under the eyes.
Remembering people's names is the first step towards relationship building. To remember people's names is the first step towards relationship building. Unit 9.
That we are curious about others is natural.
Whether you will succeed or not depends on your will.
When Neanderthals went extinct is discussed in this academic journal.
Where you come from is less important than where you're going.
How you control and use your imagination affects the quality of your life.
In making a proposal, Why you want to achieve your purpose should be clear and logical.
How climate has changed is vital to assess current global warming trends.
Whether you are rich or poor does not affect our friendship.
Unit 10. Who will be the next president is determined by voters.
Whose idea will be adopted remains confidential.
What causes Alzheimer's disease is not exactly known yet.
What is considered a status symbol will differ among cultures.
What we see depends mainly on what we look for.
In the movie, whom the main character marries interests the audience.
What great thing will happen in our life is anybody's guess.
Which city will host the next Olympic Games will be announced today.
Which friends you choose has a major influence on your life.
Unit 11. It's a delight to trust somebody so completely.
It is true that health is above wealth.
It is not good to use the same reading speed to handle different types of books.
It's important to remember that good decisions can still lead to bad outcomes.
It's no wonder that too much fast food can contribute to obesity.
At this time, it is not certain whether there are aliens out there.
It can be explained by physics how an airplane flies.
It is a mystery why he left his seat all of a sudden.
It is no use crying over spilt milk.
It is worth challenging our thinking to create a new attitude. Unit 12.
It is important for students to keep up with modern digital trends.
Real leaders make space for others to shine.
It is natural for words to change their meaning over time.
The pedestrians are waiting for the lights to change from red to green.
It is recommended for our new employees to gain experience in all departments.
It was careless of you to lose your umbrella again.
It is wise of you not to open email attachments from an unknown source. Unit 13.
I really appreciate your helping me with my homework.
In spite of the sun shining through the window, the air was chilly.
Making a small request to people can increase the chances of their accepting a bigger request afterwards.
There is very little likelihood of my getting the scholarship this semester.
Peter's complaining about others will only make his situation worse.
Policymakers should keep in mind the possibility of well-made plans going wrong. Unit 14.
It snowed in the Sahara Desert for 30 minutes on February 18, 1979.
How far is it from here to the nearest subway station?
It's Monday morning, and there's a long week ahead of us.
It's really noisy in here, so speak a little louder.
It took me a long time not to judge myself through someone else's eyes.
It seems that the medicine has helped him recover.
It didn't seem that they were close friends.
It appears that we are lost. I don't know where we are.
To my surprise, it happened that I got an A in math.
챕터 3. 목적어의 이해.
Unit 15.
People want to follow leaders with positive emotional states.
For a happier life, quit living according to others' expectations.
People in good health at the age of 60 can expect to live close to 30 more years.
Van Gogh decided to become an artist when he was 27 years old.
Some people choose not to leave an unfulfilling job because they fear the unknown.
People never plan to be failures. They simply fail to plan to be successful.
Great storytellers manage to grab the attention of readers from page 1.
The UK stopped being a member of the EU in 2020.
He didn't admit giving money to local politicians.
Do not avoid taking responsibility for your actions in any situation.
You should consider changing your old passwords regularly.
Many people put off going to the dentist because of their fear of treatment.
I don't know what to choose as a profile picture.
He told me where to go, but not how to get there.
I asked when to use ice or heat on an injury. Unit 16.
Men love to wonder, and that is the seed of science. Men love wondering, and that is the seed of science.
Some novelists prefer to include as many characters as possible in their stories. Some novelists prefer including as many characters as possible in their stories.
You begin to feel thirsty when your body loses 1% of its water. You begin feeling thirsty when your body loses 1% of its water.
Remember to put a name tag on your bag. You might lose it.
I remember putting a name tag on my bag. It had my name and phone number.
Have an aim in life. Then don't forget to pull the trigger.
I'll never forget hearing this song for the first time.
We regret to say that we are unable to help you.
Don't regret making a wrong decision. Learn from it, move on, and don't look back.
Don't try to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value.
The company provides a free play version of the game so that everyone can try playing it online.
Winners never stop learning.
We couldn't stop laughing because the comedy show was so funny.
Don't forget to turn off your cell phone before the play starts.
To sufficiently clean your teeth, you should brush for at least 2 minutes at least twice a day. Remember to brush your tongue too.
The electric toy car stopped working.
Try changing the battery. That will fix the problem. Unit 17.
I believe that success is a journey, not a destination.
I wonder whether I am on the right path in life. I wonder if I am on the right path in life.
Color can impact how you perceive weight. Dark colors look heavy, and bright colors look less so.
I think the first duty of society is justice.
Neurologists remind us that all warm-blooded mammals dream every night.
Only time will tell you whether your hard efforts will pay off.
Early humans wondered why the moon looked different every night.
Explore often. You will know how small you are and how big the world is.
We must show people we love how much they mean to us.
I wonder how many wishes a star can give.
Find out what gives you joy and do it. It will identify your values.
I haven't decided what I should buy for Parents' Day.
Never mind whose fault it is. Instead, fix the problem.
The police will announce who is responsible for the crime.
The past doesn't decide who we are. The present does.
Tell me which color you like better, pink or blue?
What do you believe makes life worth living?
In the thriller movie, the main character didn't know whom he could trust.
Unit 18. Children like talking about themselves.
Put yourself in another person's shoes to understand their perspective.
The superior man blames himself. The inferior man blames others.
The body can repair itself. The liver regenerates and bones grow back.
We protect ourselves from the worsening air quality by wearing masks.
To make myself mentally stronger, I try to forget about the past and focus on the now.
Comparing ourselves to others can have a negative impact on our self-esteem.
In the movie Mulan, the main character disguises herself as a man to enlist in the army in place of her father.
I will devote myself to something that makes my life more interesting.
Doing your best to the end is great in itself.
Guests of our hotel can avail themselves of various indoor sports.
We should enjoy ourselves while we can. Life is too short.
Commit yourself to something you have passion for.
I learn much more by traveling by myself.
If I do my full duty, the rest will take care of itself.
The journalists dedicated themselves to reporting international conflicts. Unit 19.
Don't be afraid of growing slowly. Be afraid only of standing still.
The future depends on what we do in the present.
We object to using animals for the testing of cosmetics.
Forgive yourself for making mistakes. You need to learn from them.
Working parents are busy in balancing their work and home responsibilities.
Even highly skilled workers had difficulty in finding work during the Great Depression of the 1930s.
Your attitude makes all the difference to how your day will begin and end.
Be certain of your decision, regardless of whether it is small or significant.
A repetitive schedule gives us a sense of security in that we know what is coming next.
The food was awesome, except that we had to wait for an hour.
Unit 20. Education makes it possible to defeat all barriers.
The research made it evident that good sleep is key to good health.
I found it difficult to finish the task in 2 hours.
Educators believe it wise to emphasize self-directed learning.
You should keep it in mind that time waits for no one.
I make it a rule to plan for each day's work in the morning.
I take it for granted that opportunities don't always last.
Governments are finding it hard to look after the increasing number of old people.
Doctors consider it important to safeguard infants by giving supplementary vitamins.
챕터 4. 부어의 이해.
Unit 21. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others.
The least expensive education is learning from the mistakes of others.
The duty of the court system is to protect the rights of the people.
All you have to do is to vary your routine a little.
Forgiving someone is trying to look at things from their perspective.
Set your goal and keep moving forward.
You should stay focused on the daily tasks.
The mysteries surrounding Stonehenge remain unsolved.
My point is that we're spending too much time on details.
The question is not whether we will die, but how we will live.
The hot topic among students is who is going to be their homeroom teacher.
One of the hardest choices in life is which bridge we should cross.
The first lesson in driving is how you start the car.
We seem to learn life's best lessons at the worst times.
He didn't appear to be nervous, even before the big match.
Solving the climate problem has proved to be a challenge.
In a film, sometimes the least expected person turns out to be the villain.
We don't get to know people when they come to us. We must go to them to find out what they are like.
We happened to discover we had a few things in common.
Unit 22. I want my life to have a positive influence on others.
Parents often expect their children to do better than they did.
A true friend never asks you to act like an angel. Instead, he becomes your angel.
The judge can order you to pay a maximum fine amount of $1,000.
Allow your passion to become your purpose, and it will become your profession one day.
Experience enables you to recognize a mistake when you make it again.
Alone time forces you to take a break from everyday responsibilities.
He persuaded me to eat less meat or try going vegetarian.
Strong leaders encourage you to do things for your own benefit, not just theirs.
The continuous heavy rain causes the price of vegetables to rise sharply.
The review led me to believe that the hotel had an overbooking problem.
Dentists advise us to replace our toothbrushes every 3 months.
Remind yourself to trust your own judgments when things go wrong.
The foreign minister warns citizens not to travel to countries that are likely to have terrorist attacks.
A moderate amount of stress gets us to perform at our best.
Unit 23. Don't count the days. Make the days count.
Millions saw the apple fall, but Newton was the one who asked why.
The teacher had students summarize the story in less than 200 words.
Never let your emotions overpower your intelligence.
You can easily observe people use their cell phones in the subway.
I've never heard my parents say a bad word about anybody.
In spring, you can feel the temperature change a lot from night to day.
Help others to achieve their dreams, and you will achieve yours. Help others achieve their dreams, and you will achieve yours.
I watched a man on the metro try to get off the train and fail.
Unit 24. We watched the sun rising over the sea.
Right before the large earthquake, she saw the walls shaking.
I felt my heart beating faster when I noticed someone following me.
When we hear someone laughing, it is almost impossible not to begin laughing too.
Sometimes fear and guilt gets us walking on the right track.
Reading keeps you thinking fast and taking actions faster than others.
A wonderful book will have you going through every possible emotion.
Greasy foods can slow digestion and leave you feeling uncomfortable.
When I'm in love, I find myself smiling for no reason at all.
I walk my own path. You will never catch me following in another's footsteps. Unit 25.
I can't make my voice heard because of the noise.
We heard our national anthem played proudly at the Olympics.
People are likely to be more honest when they feel themselves observed.
Examine your thoughts, and you will notice them filled with the past or the future.
When it's hard to focus at work, listening to the appropriate music could keep you motivated.
I'll give you some tips for a better essay that will get you noticed.
Someday, you may find yourself improved by all your struggles.
If you want your eggs hatched, sit on them yourself.
Don't let yourself be controlled by 3 things: people, money, or past experiences.
The weak security systems of some websites left users' personal information easily exposed to hackers.
Unit 26. When you complete your essay, have it reviewed by someone else.
Have you ever had something stolen from your house?
I myself already have my bags packed for the trip tomorrow.
We had no time to cook, so we had some food delivered.
During the intense training, the runner had his ankle broken.
Be careful not to have your pocket picked in a big crowd.
The soccer player has 1 year left on his contract.
Because we cannot have everything completed all at once, we have to prioritize.
챕터 5. 동사의 시제.
Unit 27.
We live in an age of constant interaction.
He goes hiking every Saturday.
Most planets rotate in an anti-clockwise direction.
Vegetarians stay away from meat, including chicken and fish.
The new subway line opens next month.
When you do common things in an uncommon way, you will get the attention of the world.
If you don't go through hardships, you won't know how strong you are.
As soon as you start to pursue a dream, everything in your life will have meaning.
Unit 28. Respect yourself, and others will respect you.
The successful man will profit from his mistakes and try again in a different way.
This week, I'm going to concentrate on schoolwork that I need to catch up on.
We are moving to a new place tomorrow.
A lot of people give up just before they're about to achieve success.
She was on the point of leaving when he finally arrived.
The plane for Toronto is to take off within 30 minutes.
The project is due to start on Monday, and the duration will be 3 weeks. Unit 29.
People have wondered for centuries about life after death.
We have been to Jeju Island many times.
We have just been to Jeju Island for summer vacation.
South Africa has lost many natural habitats due to deforestation.
Since 1985, the company has been in its present location.
It has been my lifelong dream to visit this beautiful city.
Have you ever imagined your future?
The baseball team has never won a game so far this season.
She's only 20, but she's already achieved worldwide fame.
He has just become a member of Mensa, with an estimated IQ of 156.
My sister has gone to the bank. She should be back soon.
Someone is sitting in the shade today because someone planted a tree a long time ago.
Seoul Tower has been a symbol of Seoul since it first opened to the public in 1980.
The baby has been crying since we got here.
How long have you been looking for a job?
I have been trying to solve this problem all afternoon. It's time for a break.
The event has been taking place in the city on the first Saturday of May each year. Unit 30.
The pianist had been sick for 2 weeks, so she couldn't take part in the concert.
I recognized him at once because I had seen him before.
When I entered the classroom, the lesson had already finished.
Almost 11 minutes had gone by when the players finally stopped challenging the referee over his decision.
Carol prepared a gift for her mom, who had sacrificed all her life for her family.
She will have graduated from college by next month.
She will have taught English for 10 years by next year.
If I see this film once more, I will have seen it 3 times.
We will have overcome differences if we respect them. Unit 31.
I am very satisfied to have tried many kinds of sports last year.
He denied having made a serious mistake.
A farmer claimed to have seen a UFO in the sky.
It was helpful to have reviewed the book before I attended the class.
Having failed once doesn't mean that you're going to fail at everything.
I'm pretty proud of having completed a marathon myself.
John Bardeen is the only scientist to have received 2 Nobel Prizes in the physics category.
챕터 6. 동사의 의미를 더하는 조동사.
Unit 32.
She can speak several languages plus her own language.
Can I take pictures or film videos of these exhibits?
You may keep this guidebook or return it for others to use.
Our love is the wind. I can't see it, but I can feel it.
I couldn't find the sports car of my dreams, so I built it myself.
With faith, you will be able to handle any challenges in life.
Visitors may use the swimming pool between 5:30 p.m. and 7:30 p.m.
You cannot make or take phone calls in the library except in designated areas.
I cannot relax in my apartment. The noise from the park at night is so loud. Unit 33.
Your mistakes should be your motivation, not your excuses.
To live a creative life, we must lose our fear of being wrong.
We should not judge people's merits by their qualifications.
You ought to expect better of people. It encourages you to be a better person yourself.
Life is like fireworks. You had better seize the moment.
You had better not force your opinion on others.
You need not do great things to show great love for your neighbors.
We have to try to see the positives in life even while we are stuck in the middle of trouble.
Adults must pay an entrance fee, but children don't have to pay anything. Unit 34.
To produce something worthwhile may require years of fruitless labor.
Our bill is over $200. That can't be right. There must be some mistake.
Accepting your flaws might lead to personal growth and change.
Your worst day could be a blessing in disguise.
A single moment can change your life. Be open to gift-like chances which the world might bring to your feet.
The cherry blossoms should be in full bloom in a day or two and will last about a week.
The film ought to take about 90 minutes, so we'll be home by 10 p.m.
The best way to answer the question would be to focus on the things that matter.
As you will understand, we can't make exceptions to this safety rule.
It cannot be true that he is home now. He went to the East Coast on vacation yesterday.
Unit 35. Someone may have found your phone. Check the lost and found first.
My alarm clock didn't go off this morning. I must have forgotten to set it last night.
A comet may not have caused the extinction of the dinosaurs. There is no authentic proof of it.
He was very young then. Dealing with the sudden fame could have been difficult for him.
The exam was quite difficult. Susan cannot have gotten a perfect score.
Some small dinosaurs that did not fly had feathers. The feathers might have been for keeping warm, but not for flying.
Your application is too late. You should have submitted it the day before yesterday.
I was late for school this morning. I should have checked the bus schedule in advance.
Why is she late? She ought to have arrived by now.
I shouldn't have said it, but the words slipped out of my mouth.
You needn't have come this early. The bookstore doesn't open till 10 a.m.
If you spend time thinking about what you should have done, you lose valuable time for planning what you will do. Unit 36.
Justice demands that there should be no discrimination against anybody.
Life doesn't require that we be the best, only that we try our best.
They suggest that young people stop wasting their money on unnecessary things and start saving it.
I insist that every room be provided with a fire extinguisher.
It is necessary that we consider other people before we act.
My suggestion is that children be careful in both how and how much they use their smartphones.
It's my proposal that the government regulate fake news.
Health experts recommend that nuts be eaten regularly as they are major sources of protein, minerals, and vitamins.
It is not so strange that worry should produce physical symptoms.
It is a shame that he should miss such a golden opportunity.
Unit 37. I would eat meat, but now I'm a vegetarian. I used to eat meat, but now I'm a vegetarian.
He used to put on weight every winter until he started skiing.
Where did you used to live before you moved here?
We would like to thank you for your suggestion about introducing more employee wellness programs.
I'd rather attempt to do something great and fail than attempt to do nothing and succeed.
If you have to have a dream, you may as well dream big.
When I hear great music, I can't help being inspired by it.
Parents cannot be too careful about their words and actions before their children.
Books may well be the only true magic.
You may as well know nothing than know things by halves.
Whenever I meet homeless dogs and cats, I can't help but feel sorry for them.
I would like to give you some useful tips on how to learn efficiently.
챕터 7. 동사의 태.
Unit 38.
All things are won by industry.
A smile with direct eye contact is welcomed everywhere.
Half of the world's habitable land is used for agriculture.
Come away from that machine before you get hurt.
He was given a fine for parking his car in the wrong place.
The earth was not given to you by your parents. It was loaned to you by your children.
The robot was taught how to respond to human facial expressions.
We're told at school that white reflects sunlight and black absorbs it.
I was offered a scholarship because I got top marks in all my subjects. Unit 39.
Trust is considered the basis of every relationship.
The bank clerks were made to lie on the floor by the gunman.
Laughter is called the best medicine.
Our immune systems are kept strong by fighting off a small amount of germs and viruses.
You're not allowed to take pictures in the museum.
Dog and cat owners are seen to have lower blood pressure.
I was advised by the nutritionist to eat more vegetables and less sugar.
Footsteps were heard echoing down a long dark hallway.
Anne Frank's diary was found hidden in the upper floor where the Frank family hid.
The patient was noticed to have difficulty in performing her daily activities by the doctor.
Unit 40. Few things will be gained by blaming the past.
Polar bears are being driven to extinction because of increasing temperatures in their habitat.
The concept of doing multiple things at a time has been studied by psychologists since the 1920s.
I may be compelled to face danger, but never fear it.
Children must be taught how to think, not what to think.
Free parking permits will be provided only to those who have registered in advance.
Your order is being prepared for shipping. You can expect delivery in 2 to 3 business days.
He had been told by his grandmother that he could achieve anything with persistence.
Up until the late 1800s, soccer had been called football in both America and Britain.
Unit 41. She is looked up to by other women as a role model.
Petroleum is referred to as black gold because of its high value in the market.
Books have been thought of as windows to another world of imagination.
Pablo Picasso was laughed at by many of his contemporaries for his unusual painting style.
It is said that habit is second nature.
It is known that eating bananas is a natural cure to reduce the effects of stress and anxiety.
Our life experience is thought to have a profound effect upon intelligence.
It is believed that genetic factors contribute about 30% to the human lifespan. Unit 42.
Let the door be closed.
Was this book written by a robot with artificial intelligence?
Let yourself not be pressured into making a hasty decision.
Don't let your viewpoints be distorted by false information.
Will the class be canceled if the number of registered students is less than 10?
What is included in the ticket price?
Each ticket includes admission and a free drink.
Why was the film banned by the government?
Unit 43. I am happy to be invited to your party.
Simply being watched makes us self-conscious.
All bad fortune is to be conquered by endurance.
I'd like a full refund because the package appeared to be damaged during delivery.
The air crash seemed to have been caused by pilot error.
Listening is giving the other person the experience of being heard.
Having been hurt by someone is never enough reason to hurt them back.
챕터 8. 가정법.
Unit 44. If I were good at grammar, I could answer the question.
If I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 sharpening my axe.
If my grandparents were alive, they could experience a whole new world.
If nature were not beautiful, it would not be worth knowing, and life would not be worth living.
If you had a 1-year vacation, what would you do during that time?
If happiness were sold, few of us could pay the price.
Life expectancy would grow by leaps and bounds if green vegetables smelled as good as bacon.
Would it be all right if I invited him to supper?
It would be great if you could come to my party tonight.
If we all did just one random act of kindness daily, we might set the world in the right direction. Unit 45.
If all the ice in the Arctic should melt, many coastal areas would disappear.
If the internet were to stop functioning, the results could be chaotic.
If you were to change your job right now, what would you choose? Unit 46.
If you had spent more time on the project, you would have made fewer mistakes.
If Edison had been born before Gutenberg, books might have been distributed as sound recordings.
If I had thought of the right words, I could have told him what I was thinking.
If I had not dared to be risky, I could never have dared to be great.
I would not have seen the movie if I had read the reviews.
If her father had been alive, he would have heartily agreed with her marriage to Tim.
If you had taken a different path, what would you be doing now?
If it hadn't rained in the morning, we would be on the top of the mountain now.
Unit 47. Were I in your shoes, I would try to look on the bright side.
Had Asian countries been unified with one language, there would have been less diversity in our history.
She would have gotten the job had she been better prepared.
Should you have further questions, please feel free to email or call us.
According to research, nearly a third of adults would face financial disaster within 2 months should they lose their jobs.
Had he followed my advice, he would have saved face. Unit 48.
When I read a good book, I wish my life were 3,000 years long.
I wish I had expressed my gratitude to my parents more often.
Attendees of the lecture wish they could have more time for discussion.
The old Romans wished they had a king because they hadn't yet tasted the sweetness of freedom.
Many people wish he had not been in a public office because of his dishonesty.
The city was beautiful, and I wish we could have stayed longer.
Unit 49. I always try to live my life as if there were no second chances.
Some people waste your time as if they had bought it from you.
He always looked happy, as if a smile were painted on his face.
He talked about my sister as though she had been a close friend.
It is high time that you should consider what you really want to do in the future.
It's time I had a haircut. My hair is so long. Unit 50.
He is a genius in communication. Otherwise, he would never be my choice for the position.
Without friends, the world would be a pretty lonely place. But for friends, the world would be a pretty lonely place.
Without copyright, the dramatic growth of the artistic, cultural, and other creative industries would have been impossible.
The benefit concert couldn't have been held without the many sponsors.
If it were not for love, life would be quite a gloomy experience.
Had it not been for our efforts, we would be in an even more difficult position now.
Supposing you had been born a century ago, what differences would have been made in your life?
In different circumstances, we could have been good friends.
What would you do in my place?
Perhaps billions of years ago, Mars would have had water covering its entire surface.
A true friend would never walk away when times get tough.
A teen wouldn't be able to go without a cell phone for a day.
To hear her sing, You might think she was an angel.
To see his everyday life, you would never think he is 80 years old.
Asked for the most useful advice in life, I would say, expect difficulties always.
챕터 9. 수식어구, 투부정사, 분사.
Unit 51.
The first person to make a voyage alone around the world was Sir Francis Chichester.
You have no one to blame but yourself because your life is the fruit of your own doing.
Impossible is a word to be found only in the Dictionary of Fools.
If you are well prepared, there is nothing to worry about.
Everyone can experience the joy of generosity because everyone has something to give.
You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore.
Flex time could give people more time to spend with their children.
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day to have to think more clearly in school.
Money is not an aim to live for, but just a means of exchange.
I had a lot of school and friend issues to deal with last month.
The best season to plant tomatoes is in late spring or early summer.
It's a terrific house to live in. You can feel the seasons through the huge glass windows.
Unit 52. A barking dog seldom bites.
People experiencing stress tend to long for more fatty, salty, and sugary foods.
Some aromas have a relaxing effect on the body, for example, lavender.
According to doctors, hair turning gray runs in the family.
The United Nations is an international organization promoting world peace, civil rights, and anti-terrorism.
About a third of the students graduating from the technology department of our university have taken jobs in the IT industry.
Books dealing with self-development are popular these days.
Life is a journey, not a guided tour.
DNA left behind at the crime scene is used as court evidence.
Regret for wasted time is more wasted time.
Truth is like the moon hidden by thick clouds on a dark night.
Cats have flexible bodies and sharp teeth adapted for hunting small animals such as mice.
Only people involved in the project are allowed to access the data.
The secret funds scandal revealed in today's news may be just the tip of the iceberg.
Things acquired with little effort are easily lost.
Unit 53. I love meeting interesting people and doing things with them.
People interested in what you're interested in are more likely to become friends with you.
Trying to stop an unwanted habit can be an extremely frustrating task, as habits are difficult to break.
Take a guided tour of the Vatican museums for an amazing travel experience.
Consumers satisfied with the quality of the product gave a high score in the customer satisfaction survey.
Social media is a favorite pastime for many bored people.
After years working with boring people, he set off to travel the world.
Unit 54. To learn anything new, you have to have an open mind.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
They must be crazy to believe such nonsense.
I'm always doing what I can't do to learn how to do it.
Breaks are needed to revive your energy levels and recharge your mental stamina.
Attempt the impossible in order to improve your work.
Make a detailed plan in advance not to waste your time.
Some animals, like the chameleon, can change the color of their skin so as not to be seen by predators.
We are pleased to offer free trees through our annual tree distribution event.
I was foolish to give up my dreams just because of fear of failure. Unit 55.
Many young Koreans are growing up to be taller than their parents.
I woke up to find the sun shining brilliantly.
If you wish to live to see better days, you must endure the bad days.
Many of us attempt change only to give up after a few tries.
One day, he disappeared from the town, never to be seen again.
To see the scene, you would never forget it.
You would be foolish to spend money on something that you can't afford.
Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless.
Good friends are hard to find and impossible to forget.
Undercooked meat and eggs are dangerous to give to your dog.
Plastic bags are convenient to use but harmful for the environment.
You are free to choose, but you are not free from the consequences of your choice.
Children are apt to imitate the characters in their favorite books.
Art is difficult to define because anything can be considered art by anyone.
Unit 56. The subject is too sensitive to respond to openly.
A man must be wise enough to admit his mistakes.
Fear can be so strong as to limit people's behaviors.
The issue was too important for me to judge alone.
You were given this life because you are strong enough to live it.
The baby's vision is not so mature as to focus on a screen.
Everything was explained clearly enough for me to understand.
챕터 10. 분사구문.
Unit 57. Shouting for joy, the players celebrated their own victory.
Opening the envelope, the presenter announced the winner of the Best Actress Award.
I got up from the table quickly, knocking over a glass of water.
Waiting to be served, we stood in a long line in front of the restaurant.
Roman law evolved dramatically over time, continuously adapting to new circumstances and challenges.
Good readers, reading books, make predictions about the text they read.
The plane left from London at 10 a.m., arriving here at 3 p.m.
Sleep deprivation can negatively affect a person's cognitive skills, thus reducing the ability to focus.
Filling out the customer survey, please answer all the questions.
Feeling rather ill, I declined his invitation to dinner.
Choosing a career, you should think hard about your interests.
My sister, not knowing what to do, came to ask for my advice.
Having a positive attitude, you can come up with possible solutions in difficult situations.
Admitting that some areas take longer to master, I found English quite interesting to learn. Unit 58.
Having had a big lunch, I had no appetite for dinner.
Never having gone to a concert, he would love to get the tickets.
Known as the cow of China, the soybean has been the main source of protein for the Chinese people.
The teacher, not having heard the bell, kept on teaching.
Worn properly, safety belts can save many lives each year.
This poem, translated into English, would lose its beauty.
Having been bitten by a snake, he's afraid of a rope.
A kind person, she is loved by everyone.
Rich in zinc, pumpkin seeds can be helpful in enhancing memory.
Busy with his work, he didn't sleep at all.
Used without care, words can cause great damage.
People tend to take larger sniffs when imagining pleasant odors.
Positive people can handle conflict situations easily while maintaining good personal relations.
When faced with a problem, a conflict, we instinctively seek to find a solution.
Once seen, the last scene of the movie can never be forgotten.
Never having sung in front of people, he must be nervous now.
Having been written in haste, his report had many spelling mistakes. Unit 59.
Other things being equal, I prefer this one.
Many modern pop musicians, one example being Paul McCartney, can't read music at all.
We will set up telescopes to view stars, weather permitting.
With night coming on, it was beginning to snow.
Sitting with legs crossed for hours can raise blood pressure.
History goes on with old ideas giving way to new ideas.
With technology progressing faster than ever before, there are plenty of devices to save more water.
She was sobbing with her head buried in her arms.
When regions can no longer produce food, people will be forced to move to other areas, making them climate refugees.
When studying for an exam, it is crucial to set specific goals.
Generally speaking, when you eat is as important as what you eat.
Some wild mushrooms are poisonous, leading people to lose their lives.
When storing fresh produce, It is recommended to store it at a proper temperature.
Strictly speaking, spiders are not insects because they have 2 main body parts and 8 legs.
Speaking of fame, it can really come and go.
챕터 11. 등위절과 병렬 구조.
Unit 60.
Have enough courage to start and enough heart to finish.
Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime.
Conflict is always difficult, but it sometimes leads to growth and change in organizations.
The dot over the lowercase I or j is known as a tittle.
Suffering can destroy you, or it can show your true potential.
Don't try to do too much at once, or you will tire yourself out.
Focus on one task at a time, and you'll accomplish each task better and probably faster.
Strive to have friends, for life without friends is like life on a desert island.
I am not afraid of storms, for I am learning how to sail my ship.
I never did anything by accident, nor did any of my inventions come by accident.
Trees cannot grow in the sky, nor clouds be in the deep sea, nor fish live in the fields.
It's strange yet true that sometimes black and white photos can look better than color photos.
Celebrities' reputations are their most valuable asset, yet they can be built or destroyed overnight. Unit 61.
Too much inactivity can lead to bad physical condition, muscle weakness, weight gain, and depression.
To communicate clearly with others, have the courage to ask questions and express what you really want.
Teachers play the role of transmitting knowledge and keeping students always motivated.
Fat is vital for protecting our body's organs against shock and for maintaining body temperature.
A successful team is a group of many hands but of one mind.
If you're never scared or embarrassed or hurt, it means you never take any chances.
The signs and symptoms of burnout are subtle at first, but become worse as time goes on.
Books can add to what we know, widen our vocabulary, make our character strong, and do many other things that silver and gold cannot do.
Happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony.
Note-taking depends on one's ability to understand the content and to hold it in memory long enough to write it down.
When your doctor prescribes medication without checking your chart or asking the right questions, critical mistakes can happen.
Stop thinking about what you don't have and find a solution yourself.
Your brain is 80% liquid, and water is vital to keeping your brain in tip-top condition.
I confess I do not know why, but looking at the stars always makes me dream.
Unit 62. Paganini was famous for his technical skill in both playing violin and composing music.
You can choose either to have a negative attitude towards your life or to be happy instead.
Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just changes shape.
Choosing an action depends on both what we can do and what we should do.
Either write something worth reading or do something worth writing.
Technology is neither good nor bad. It's what you do with it that makes the difference.
Antibiotics either kill bacteria or stop them from growing.
When we lose, we must not show our grief and anger, but congratulate the winner.
Each stage of life is not only a complete life in itself, but also preparation for the next.
Our brains are programmed to perform at their best, not when they are negative, but when they are positive.
Reading comics is worthwhile, not just because they will make you laugh, but because they contain the wisdom of life.
Citrus scents, such as orange, bring out positive chemical reactions in your brain as well as work to ease stress.
Reading is not just decoding the letters, but coming up with your own ideas.
Unit 63. Saying is one thing, doing is another.
Prefer knowledge to wealth, for the one is transitory, the other perpetual.
Lions are hyenas' primary foe, even though the former usually don't eat the latter.
We used to think that revolutions are the cause of change. Actually, it is the other way around.
Building DIY furniture can save you money, but the other side of the coin is that it requires time, skill, and effort.
Someone with an anxiety disorder may also suffer from depression or vice versa.
To know is one thing, to teach is another.
챕터 12. 관계사절.
Unit 64. Every team needs a leader who motivates others.
Kids who eat junk food regularly are not hungry for healthy food.
The best character of the film is a villain whose aim is to destroy the world.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Aspirin is one of the drugs which don't require a doctor's prescription for their use.
They are good neighbors that live happily in houses next to each other.
Every day, do something that will bring you closer to a better tomorrow.
When writing a report, you should not use a sentence whose meaning is unclear.
A mentor is someone whose work or life is admired and who is a good guide to others.
People whose diets are rich in vitamins are less likely to develop some types of cancer. Unit 65.
Never judge someone whom you don't even fully know.
I have some friends who I haven't seen for a long time and who I am eager to meet.
All children need a safe space in which they can grow and develop.
Dogs working at airports sniff out things which people are not supposed to bring in.
When people encounter people or things that they like, the rate of blinking increases.
A friend is a person with whom I may be sincere. Before him, I may think aloud.
Have people in your life who you can talk to about your daily struggles.
Use simple words which your readers will understand, and not words which they will have to look up.
Unit 66. There are times when everyone wants to be alone.
Brain fade is a short time when your mind goes blank or cannot remember something.
My children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin.
There are uncommon cases where grain products can cause an allergic reaction.
Diabetes is a condition that the body can't control the amount of sugar in the blood.
The reason why people do not obtain success is that it is disguised as hard work.
One of the reasons that people from different countries can't understand each other's jokes is cultural differences.
Stereotypes should never influence how we deal with or treat others.
The only way that young people can learn is to make their own mistakes.
The present is the only moment when you can take action.
Education is a powerful weapon which you can use to change the world.
Life and sports present many situations where critical and difficult decisions have to be made. Unit 67.
Experience is the name everyone gives to their mistakes.
We consider her an asset any organization would like to work with.
The moral of a fable is the principle or lesson it teaches.
Everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't.
Spring is when life is alive in everything.
The moment you want to quit is the moment you need to keep pushing.
Home is where children should feel safe and stable.
Do you remember the place we first met?
Why people prefer Friday to Sunday is that Friday brings promise, the promise of the weekend ahead.
One of the reasons mature people stop learning is that they become less and less willing to risk failure.
Unit 68. You need friends in your life who believe in you and cheer you on.
The time will surely come when my words will come true.
A black hole is an area in outer space into which everything, including light itself, is pulled.
Physical education should offer activities to young students which are meaningful and enjoyable.
Virtual reality is an environment created by computers which seems almost real.
You are the only person I've ever met who understands me.
There are many things which are important for you to learn, but which can never be taught in a classroom.
This is the only travel guidebook I was recommended to read which is really useful. Unit 69.
You must not forget what I'm going to tell you.
What is learned in the cradle is carried to the grave.
Associate what you are learning with what you already know to memorize the learning material.
Being defeated is often temporary. Giving up is what makes it permanent.
We should judge a man not by what he has, but by what he is.
What people need to do is to accept that some things are beyond their control.
Unit 70. Whoever is happy will make others happy too.
We have a right to elect whoever we want.
Ask for advice to whomever you depend on, and you'll get valuable feedback.
You can relax by taking a walk or by practicing yoga. Try to relax by using whichever method suits you best.
Whatever is going to happen will happen, whether we worry or not.
You can achieve whatever you want in life. Just believe that you can.
We will take whatever action is necessary to resolve the situation.
With a strong will, you can have whichever life you want in any circumstances.
The new store gave a present to whoever shopped there on its opening day.
Unit 71. I met an old friend of mine who didn't recognize me at first.
Time, whose teeth eat away at everything else, is powerless against truth.
Millions apparently suffer from no-mobile phobia, which has been given the name nomophobia.
The solar system, to which planets like Earth and Mars belong, was formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago.
One of the best ways to learn is to teach others, which enhances our own learning experience.
Water has no calories, but it takes up a space in your stomach, which creates a feeling of fullness.
Curing the mind is the first step to curing illness, which is a healing principle mentioned in the 동의보감.
I've always had a great many worries, most of which were silly.
Approximately 25,000 people worldwide, many of whom are children, are still dying of hunger every day.
Carrots are full of beta-carotene, some of which is converted into vitamin A.
As a rule, the panel consists of 10 members, 3 of whom are students.
The manager set out 3 solutions for the problem, one of which was considered the most attractive by everyone. Unit 72.
The last time I went to Santorini was in September, when the weather was really beautiful.
We planned our purchases for the last day of the sale, when the prices would be really low.
South Africa is like a giant zoo, where elephants, lions, and even penguins wander freely.
I walked along the streets in Paris, where I found cafes and restaurants with pretty outdoor seating.
챕터 13. 부사절.
Unit 73. When it rains, look for rainbows. When it's dark, look for stars.
While we stop to think, we often miss our opportunity.
Happiness adds and multiplies as we divide it with others.
It has been about 50 years since our school was founded.
Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do.
We do not know the value of health until we lose it.
Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results.
Man should forget his anger before he lies down to sleep. Unit 74.
As soon as the fear approaches near, attack and destroy it.
No sooner had I gone to bed than I received a text message.
Scarcely had the words left my mouth when I realized what a stupid thing I had said.
The moment you doubt whether you can fly, you cease forever to be able to do it.
By the time they are 3 months old, babies will be able to recognize their mother.
Every time you smile at someone, it is a gift to that person.
I'll remember this experience as long as I live.
I think it will not be long before we suffer from a shortage of water.
Hardly had we arrived at the beach when it began to rain. Unit 75.
A bad plan is better than no plan because it can be improved.
Since life began in the oceans, most life has chemical properties similar to the ocean.
Dyeing hair blonde was common among Roman men, as they believed it made them appear younger.
My life has meaning now that I can comfort and give hope to people in more difficult situations.
Seeing that the level of fine dust is high, you'd better wear a mask.
I tried something new. I am sorry that I wasn't good at it, but I am proud that I tried.
Humans don't require high level of carbohydrates because our bodies can convert proteins into carbohydrates. Unit 76.
If a person starts the day with a positive mindset, that person is more likely to have a positive day.
Good things happen only if you believe they will.
People rarely succeed unless they have fun in what they are doing.
We will refund your money in case you're not satisfied with your purchase.
There are always millions of ways to reach your goal, supposing you really want to do it.
It does not make a big difference what your hobby is, provided you find it interesting.
It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop.
Knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice.
Unit 77. Although the world is full of suffering, it is full also of the overcoming of it.
Even if it's a little thing, do something for those who have need of a man's help.
Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star.
The left brain analyzes the parts while the right looks at the whole.
Whereas knowledge can be acquired from books, skills must be learned through practice.
Playing a game with others teaches kids how to be a good team player, whether they win or lose.
Rich as you may be, you can't buy sincere friends.
Coward as he was, John couldn't bear such an insult.
Even though we wear fashionable clothes, we can't be truly beautiful without good manners.
Unit 78. Be honest with your friends, however painful the truth is.
Whoever you are, whatever you do vote if you can.
The game will be very exciting, whichever side wins.
Whatever happens, good or bad, the proper attitude makes the difference.
Whenever you start, it is important that you do not stop after starting.
Wherever you go in life or however old you get, there's always something new to learn about.
However powerful your engine is, you won't get very far if you don't have any wheels.
Unit 79. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak.
Review what happened so the same problem does not arise again.
You need people in life who encourage you in order that you can feel confident in your capabilities.
We must learn from history, lest we should repeat its tragic lessons.
Keep a fire extinguisher near the kitchen in case there is a fire.
Corn was so valuable that it was used as money in America.
It was such a boring movie that I couldn't stay awake until the end.
Chewier foods take more energy to digest, so the number of calories that our body receives is less.
We were having such a good time that we decided to prolong our stay by another week.
Unit 80. Treat others as you wanted to be treated.
Truth cannot be broken and always gets above falsehood, as does oil above water.
She is walking as if she doesn't know where she is headed.
Look at everything as though you are seeing it for the first time.
Just as darkness comes at the end of each day, so also comes the dawn to spread light across the land.
As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death.
You are awesome just the way you are.
Just as food and water are essential to life, so the spirit of self-sacrifice is a necessary condition of love.
챕터 14. 전명구를 동반하는 동사 구문.
Unit 81.
Conservation of biodiversity is important to prevent endangered species from becoming extinct.
Exercising gives you more energy and keeps you from feeling exhausted.
Don't let fear or insecurity stop you from trying new things.
Self-doubt can discourage us from moving forward.
It's not easy to distinguish natural honey from fake honey just by taste.
All the puppies looked the same, so I couldn't tell one from another.
Most human beings instinctively know right from wrong.
Prioritizing is separating what's important from what's not important.
Unit 82. Do not blame anybody for your mistakes and failures.
Thank you for everything you have ever done for me.
For a vegetarian diet, substitute beans for meat in your recipes.
Because he was big for his age, people often took my younger brother for an adult.
Lots of people criticize the airline industry for poor customer service and increased fees.
The coach substituted Kane with Lamela in the second half. Unit 83.
I think of myself as a positive person who doesn't complain much.
We look upon leisure as a vital time for recharging our batteries.
Many people don't regard social media as trustworthy sources of news.
The WHO views access to health care as a basic human right.
Unit 84. Researchers have found that poor posture can rob us of a few inches of height.
Too much screen time before bedtime can deprive people of their sleep.
Building owners should clear the sidewalk of snow for public access.
After using the new treatment, many patients were cured of the illness.
Evening exercise will relieve you of all the tension of the day.
You reminded me of my childhood when you sang that song.
Regular assessment informs students of their progress and areas for development.
He failed to convince the jury of his innocence.
She assured parents of improvement in the quality of basic education.
Many accused the government of lacking a plan to deal with the economic crisis. Unit 85.
For $13, the airport shuttle bus takes you directly to your hotel.
You cannot add more minutes to the day, but you can utilize each one to the fullest.
Finding the cause of the disease will lead you to the best treatment.
I don't know how to apply the formula to this problem.
Any creator owes their creations to past creations.
We can attribute the failure to a number of factors, not only one.
An introvert may prefer online to in-person communication.
Doctors ascribed his quick recovery to his strong determination to beat the illness.
Unit 86. Proverbs provide us with timeless wisdom.
A witness supplied the police with a criminal's description.
The jury presented the team with the winning trophy and medals.
Books furnish children with knowledge by encouraging them to think.
The program aims to equip people with the skills necessary for a job.
The organization will provide free meals for all children during the school closure.
Don't compare what you have with what others have.
Life is often compared to a voyage.
Never confuse a single defeat with a final defeat, since you have more chances to win.
There are some words that are frequently mixed up with others.
The police charged 2 young men with causing a disturbance.
Travel opens your heart, broadens your mind, and fills your life with stories to tell.
챕터 15. 비교 구문
Unit 87.
The ability to express an idea is as important as the idea itself.
I have friends who love music as much as I do.
Surround yourself with people whose dreams are as big as yours.
We ought to do good to others, as simply as a horse runs or a bee makes honey.
Public recognition is almost as essential as financial reward.
Letting a bad thought get into your mind is as dangerous as letting a germ get into your body.
The contribution of amateurs to astronomy is often as significant and valuable as that of professionals.
There are as many opinions as there are people.
During the peak season, the tours start as frequently as every 30 minutes. Unit 88.
Reading 10,000 books is not as useful as traveling 10,000 miles.
Being recognized for what we do is not so important as being loved for who we are.
Products that are black are perceived to be twice as heavy as those that are white.
The government spent 3 times as much money on national defense as it did last year.
When the season changes, temperatures can fluctuate by as much as 10 degrees in a day.
You only get one life. It's actually your duty to live it as fully as possible.
Laugh every day as much as you can.
What's important is not so much the path you're on as the direction you're headed.
Unit 89. Imagination is more important than knowledge.
Many disciplines are better learned by entering into the doing than by mere abstract study.
When feeling down, saying, "I am really sad," is more helpful than declaring, "I am happy."
The population of South Korea is larger than that of New Zealand.
The hunger for love is much more difficult to remove than the hunger for bread.
Despite the laws, the air in many places is still worse than it is permitted to be.
Because of the flood of applicants, the application process is taking a little longer than we expected.
It is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Unit 90.
The more we study, the more we discover our ignorance.
The harder you work for something, the greater you'll feel when you achieve it.
The more moisture a food has, the more likely it is to grow harmful bacteria.
The modern world makes us live faster and faster without care for others.
Group performance in problem solving is superior to the individual work of the most expert group members.
The air pollution level today is at least 3 times higher than the World Health Organization's safe level.
The part of an iceberg that is below the surface of the ocean is about 9 times larger than the part that is above the water.
Several excuses are always less convincing than one.
The stronger you become, the bigger obstacles you can overcome. Unit 91.
The length of your education is not more important than its breadth.
Cultural development is not less significant than economic development.
Stepping onto a brand new path is not more difficult than remaining in a tough reality.
Children are not less intelligent than adults. They are just less informed.
Too much is no more desirable than too little is.
Exercise is no less important to our health than nourishment.
We can no more hold time steady than we can turn it back.
We must recognize others' values are no less crucial than our own.
Unit 92. Occasionally I have fast food, but not more than once a month.
The candidates for mayor of this city must collect not less than 40,000 signatures for registration.
Please use not less than 4 letters and not more than 15 letters for your password.
The WHO suggests taking no more than 5 grams of salt per day.
For a butterfly to fly, it must have a body temperature of no less than 30 degrees Celsius.
My father is 54 years old, and he still looks no more than 40.
A friend with an understanding heart is worth no less than a brother.
Unit 93. Music is the most powerful form of communication in the world.
The most wasted of all days is one without laughter.
The musical performance contains the most astonishing costumes, stage setting, and lighting that have ever been used.
No other painting is as popular as the Mona Lisa in the world.
Nothing is so strong as parents' love for their children.
Nothing is more precious than time, but nothing is less valued.
The beginning is perhaps more difficult than anything else, but keep an optimistic view.
Identifying your passion is the most essential step for your future. No other step is as essential as identifying your passion for your future. No other step is so essential as identifying your passion for your future. No other step is more essential than identifying your passion for your future.
One of the greatest feelings is making special memories with your family.
How others see me is the least important of my worries.
Cyber-related fraud is by far the most common form of crime nowadays.
Barcelona is the second largest city in Spain and is famous for its many historic monuments.
By the laws of nature, the stream runs downhill, and the strongest man cannot stop it.
Introduced by Google in 2004, Gmail is one of the most popular email services in the world.
챕터 16. 특수구문.
Unit 94.
Not only did he come, but he also helped me.
In the middle of difficulty lies opportunity.
Great is the human who has not lost his childlike heart.
Little did the students know that the unplanned vacation would impact them in a negative way.
Seldom does a new brand that doesn't appear on TV reach high levels of public awareness quickly.
Only through practice can language skills be acquired.
Not until just before dawn do people sleep best. Not until people get old do they become wise.
No sooner had he met his family than he burst into tears.
Hardly had it stopped raining than a double rainbow appeared.
On no account should your child be left at home alone.
Only when we realize the reasons behind failure can the causes of success be more meaningful.
Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher.
Behind every success are many hours of sweat and pain.
The future belongs to all of us, and so does the responsibility to make a good future.
A good appearance doesn't make you beautiful inside, and neither do quality clothes.
In life, love is never planned, nor does it happen for a reason.
So outstanding was the performance that we could not stop clapping.
If there exists no possibility of failure, then victory is meaningless.
Unit 95. It is confidence that allows us to have unlimited success.
It is your parents who love you most.
It is the power of speech which most clearly differentiates man from the animals.
It is the things I've never tried that I regret, not the things I failed at.
It is what kind of food people eat that plays a significant role in improving their health.
It is only with the heart that one can see rightly. What is essential is invisible to the eye.
It wasn't until 1840, when Queen Victoria got married, that the white wedding dress was made popular.
It is while we are young that the habit of industry is formed.
Experience really does make you a better man.
Childhood growing pains do pass and cause no damage to bones or muscles.
Sometimes a break from your routine is the very thing you need.
Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale.
I don't understand in the least what she's trying to say.
You're wet through. What on earth have you been doing? Unit 96.
He said he would fail, but he didn't.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Don't take pictures if they tell you not to.
Lost wealth can be regained, but lost time, never.
The first half of our lives is spent sacrificing our health to achieve wealth, and the second half sacrificing our wealth to achieve health.
Under the system of mass education, too much stress is laid on teaching and too little on active learning.
We are drowning in information while starving for wisdom.
Highly social animals, such as parrots, seem to be adversely affected if kept alone.
Ensure that your emails convey the meaning you intend them to.
We fuel our bodies with food, our minds with education, and our hearts with love.
Unit 97. I have loved and will love only you.
Education means development, not only of the brain, but also of the whole person.
Water turns into ice at 0 degrees Celsius and into steam at 100 degrees Celsius.
Government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
Passions weaken, but habits strengthen with age.
Your opinion seems similar to, but is different from mine.
Even in this most technological age, the greater part of our activity is, and must be, based on tradition.
Efforts are as valuable as, and maybe more valuable than, the results they bring about. Unit 98.
Successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers.
Words once spoken, like bullets once fired, can't be recovered.
A good plan, violently executed now, is better than a perfect plan next week.
Time famine. The feeling of having too much to do and not enough time to do it is the cause of unnecessary stress.
Interpersonal skills, which are used when we communicate with others, help us establish and maintain relationships.
Competition, we have learned, is neither good nor evil in itself.
A man's friends can have a great, if not decisive, influence on his life.
There are few, if any, mistakes in his English.
Shy people seldom, if ever, speak unless they are spoken to.
The greatest pleasure in life is doing what people say you cannot do.
I recommend a self-help book, which I believe may change your life.
When brainstorming, write down your ideas and then select which idea you feel is best.
With persistence, you can go beyond what you thought was possible for you to achieve. Unit 99.
Eric and Tom, both friends of mine, are starting a band.
Acrophobia, or a fear of heights, is a well-known phobia.
We are planning a trip to the windy city of Chicago next month.
The idea of waiting for something makes it more exciting.
Scientism is the view that the scientific description of reality is the only truth.
The idea occurred to me that I should start my own business.
The question whether life exists beyond Earth is interesting.
The chess player possesses an ability to recall the position of chess pieces at any point from a game.
Human beings are driven by a natural desire to form and maintain interpersonal relationships. Unit 100.
To do two things at once is to do neither.
You cannot satisfy everybody around you.
Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction.
No area of life is stupid to someone who takes it seriously.
Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love.
Action may not always bring happiness, but there is no happiness without action.
Search engines find the information, not necessarily the truth.
Without diligence and thrift, nothing will happen, and with them, everything.
Nobody will believe in you unless you believe in yourself.
It's impossible to generate good ideas without also generating bad ideas.
Unit 101. Accomplishment gives you a feeling of pride.
An hour's walk up the hill took me to the top.
Studies show that sharing your personal experience makes others like you more.
His father's death forced him to make a living at an early age.
Your dedicated work has made it possible for us to maintain the high quality of papers published.
Traveling allows us to relax, explore new places, and have fun.
Focusing on the trees keeps you from seeing the forest.
No amount of money matters if we are not healthy.